I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to stay persistent when everything is failing. Because personally, there's been times in my life where right before I manifested what it is that I wanted, everything seemed like it was failing. And this is why it's so important to keep your eye on that goal and stay faithful and trust yourself in those times when it seems like everything is failing. And I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to stay persistent when that's happening, allowing the truth of who you are to prevail and allow you to manifest what you truly want. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. And the first thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to stay persistent when everything is failing is to, number one, understand that you need to remember that right before you're about to break through and have the success that you want, sometimes what can happen is that the external reality will seem like everything is going wrong. And you need to be wise enough to reprogram yourself to stay consistent in the direction that you want, regardless of what is happening in the circumstances. So I'll give you a perfect example in my personal life where I did this, where I used to have really, really bad health issues. My skin used to flare up really, really badly. I had something called eczema. I still have lingering aspects of it, but it's pretty much totally gone. And the truth is that I was able to overcome this by realizing that oftentimes when there was like something really going wrong with my skin, it's like actually I took it as an opportunity to go even deeper and to stay consistent with what I wanted to create, regardless of what was happening. And the moment that I had that mindset shift of that is the place that I'm going to be coming from in terms of what I create in the world with my health and with my business and everything that I'm creating, everything started to shift very quickly. And this is because I started to realize that what was happening in the circumstances does not define what has to happen in the next moment, right? That's what we always believe, is that what's happening right now in this moment has to define the next moment, if you say so, right? And what has happened in the past has to also define what is going to happen this time because you got a certain result in the past. Not necessarily. There's been things that I used to do in the past that would give me a certain result. And because I tweaked the place that I came from, I ended up getting a different result, even though that was the experience that I had the first time, and many times repeated for a long time. Same experience. Tweak something in my inner state of being, and then I got a different result. And that is because I shifted something internally within myself, not necessarily controlling anything in the external, but because of that internal shift, it allowed for a different slide, a different reality, a different sort of world to open up for myself that previously was not able to open up for me because my ego was attached to the circumstances. And so it's just important to remember that the breakthrough is going to happen right before right after some failure usually, or something's going wrong, or maybe everything's going wrong. It's like that's when the breakthrough is about to happen. You have to stay motivated. You have to stay consistent. In fact, most people give up right before they're about to get massive success. So what a shame in that. You have to get into a mentality where there's no room for giving up. Like for me personally, giving up is not a part of my vocabulary. Like if I'm creating something, I'm gonna finish it through till the very end, and I'm gonna create that thing regardless of anything. And that's just that person that I am, is that if I really want something, I'm gonna manifest it. And I believe that we're all like that in true reality, like whatever that means, but we don't give ourselves permission to really be who we actually are and to own our desires and to create what we want. I think that is a huge problem in society, is that we don't give ourselves permission to own that till completion, where it's like you're just gonna be persistent no matter what. Like if there's any room or this might not happen, that means you haven't committed fully to what you want. Simple as that. If you're thinking oh man, this might not happen, you haven't committed fully. Now, I'm not saying that those thoughts might not pop up, but if you're committed, what you'll do is you'll reframe that as an opportunity to keep going. You're not going to see failure as an option. You're only going to see opportunities to keep going and to keep going towards success. That's what happens when you come from the right space. But it's important to remember that breakthroughs happen right before success. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to stay persistent when everything is failing is to, number two, use any emotion that you feel in the process of what you want not happening as actually fuel to go towards your goal. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're feeling a little bit of lack because that thing that you want is not here yet. What you do with that emotion of lack is you reframe that and you use it as fuel to go towards what you want anyways. So let's just say maybe I'm working on a business idea and something's not working and I'm getting frustrated because I'm not manifesting something in my business. Let's just say, for example, what I'll do is I'll use that frustration as I'll turn it into passion towards working more on my business. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you can actually alchemize that emotion. You can say, I'm really frustrated. Actually use that towards what you want to create instead. See, if you put emotion into something, if you put passion into something, it actually accelerates the charge of it and manifests it a lot faster in your life. So you want to have that emotion, you want to have that charge, and you want to be precisely directing that energy and that life force in the direction of what you want to see happen and more of. Like if you don't want to see something happen in your life, don't give it a lot of passion and energy, right? Because whatever you give passion to, you get more of in your life, whether it's something you don't want or what you do want. So you do want to be giving passion only to what you know is going to help you go towards what you want. And that is about using any emotion that you feel towards the goal. If there's an opportunity or challenge that brings up a lot of emotion, use that and focus on what you want. That's something very powerful that you can do. This is actually alchemy. This is actually changing what's happening and re-alchemizing it into what you prefer, but not by resisting it, by simply seeing it as a part of your experience and choosing to go in a different direction. And that's what you call alchemy. That is what some people even call magic. Like true magic is like you're changing the energy into something else and you're just going towards what you want no matter what. And so that's very powerful, and you can use this to be persistent when everything's failing. Oh man, I'm really frustrated, but I'm gonna keep going anyways. Like it's just a mindset shift. It's the same feeling, but it's like a different perspective. You see what I'm saying? It's really like the same feeling, but it's a different perspective, and you're coming from a different place. And by perspective, I don't necessarily just mean thinking. It's also the state of consciousness that you're in. Even though I don't like to say state, because state can like convince people that have to control their feelings, but actually your feelings start to morph how they need to when you stop trying to control them altogether, is what I've noticed in my experience, but we'll save that for a whole nother video. But the key is to realize that actually if you want to really manifest what you want, it's important to alchemize those emotions towards what you want to see happen in your life. And that's very important. You want to do this as much as possible, is emotionalize anything you want to see happen. The more passion you give it, the better, honestly. It'll manifest a lot faster. And I'm not saying use any more passion than you want to, but what you want to manifest, give it as much passion as feels right to you as much as you can, and you'll see it happen actually a lot faster in your experience. Now, the third and final thing that I want to share with you in this video, in terms of how to stay persistent when everything is failing, is to number 3, expect to receive what you want no matter what. Expect to receive it. What you expect to happen in life will happen in life. If you're expecting something to happen in a certain way, it's going to happen in a certain way. Like your assumptions do actually control your reality in that way. Like if you're expecting that bad things are always happening to you and then you're a clumsy person or whatever, that's going to be your reality. But if you expect that actually you're the type of person that manifests what they want even when things are failing, then that becomes your reality too. Like it's whatever you say it is, really. But in just the one reality, you're a little bit more expanded in relative to who you used to be prior to that expansion, right? Now, what you want to do though is train yourself to, when everything's going wrong, expect to receive what you want anyways. Trust yourself. Like, why assume that it's not going to happen? Like, why? Like you would think that the circumstances, okay, this means specifically that it's not going to happen, but like why? Not always. Oftentimes when we attach these meanings to like the circumstances and all these different things, it's like, it's just an assumption. It doesn't have to go that way. Just because something has happened in a certain way for a certain period of time in your life doesn't necessarily mean that it has to keep happening that way. There's many things that I used to use in my life that gave me consistent negative results for a long time. And people said that doing the same thing every single day is the definition of insanity. But also I believe that we can make something that never worked before actually work if we come from a different place. And sometimes that means expecting to receive what you want and living into that and embodying that even when it actually doesn't seem like it, and just being it anyway. So for me, it was like I used to have a really big flare-up with my skin or something. I would just like go to the gym anyways, go record a video anyways. And actually I would notice like my skin would get a lot better when I would do that. It was really interesting. It's like when I used to focus on like, oh my gosh, what's the problem? Like, how do I heal this? What's the issue? I would just get more of that issue again and again and again. When I started to just like focus on who I wanted to be, my skin got better and just got better and just got better and just got better. And it was really interesting to see that like contrast. Like, wait a second, so if I focus on the problem and come from this level of consciousness, I manifest more of the problem. If I expand my awareness and focus on the solution, no matter what I'm feeling, but I just alchemize it into what I want, I just get more of what I want. And it's like I saw that contrast. And to me, this is why like I'm so passionate about teaching this secret and teaching the law of attraction and getting this message out there into the world to the masses, because it's like it's just so obvious. It's right under our noses, but we just don't see it. Like, you just have to expect what you want no matter what. That's exactly what I did, and that's exactly how I healed my health issues. Like, I actually healed a lot of my health issues just by actually giving myself permission to be what I wanted no matter what was happening. And a lot of people won't believe that, but it's like it was like I had to give myself permission to almost like step into like a different version of myself, like a more quote spiritual version of myself, even though I believe we're all spiritual. But I let myself like transform and morph a little bit with life. And I noticed that actually like exactly what I thought would happen based on the past, when I expanded my awareness and trusted myself, not only did that thing not happen, the opposite happened, and I actually manifested what I wanted. For me, it was health. This is a common theme in my life. It's like the ego gets it all backwards. We flip it all upside down. The ego like flips wrong and right wrong. It flips it backwards. So what you want to do is don't listen to the ego and actually just expect to receive what you want no matter what is happening in your experience. Because in my experience, what is happening is simply a reflection of focusing on the problem for however many years. But to break that momentum, you have to focus on the solution until the problem is no longer in your field of consciousness. And that is the higher consciousness way to manifest. And if you don't get this, you're going to manifest a problem. You need to expand your awareness and focus on the solution. That's the solution always in life, really, no matter what we're talking about, is to get that awareness expansion and to focus on the next thing that's going to be serving you and to let go of what's not serving you. And sometimes what that can mean, once again, is to expect to receive what you want no matter what is happening in your experience, and to trust that it's going to happen no matter what the circumstances are seemingly telling you. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. I do have extremely limited spots available for coaching, so if you do want to work with me one-on-one personally and be part of my new coaching program that just launched, be sure to apply as soon as possible. Also, if this video was supportive for you in any way, leave a comment down below sharing what your thoughts are. I read every single comment and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that actually every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and that actually they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easy way possible, helping themselves and helping others in the process as well. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube algorithm to push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.